The defendant walked into court acting like he owned the room, but less than an hour later, Judge Judy was shutting down every word coming out of his mouth. Marcus Reed arrived wearing an expensive gray suit, smiling confidently at the audience, like the case was already beneath him. He interrupted people before they finished sentences, leaned back carelessly in his chair, and kept shaking his head whenever the plaintiff tried speaking. Even before testimony began, the courtroom felt tense. Across from him sat Denise Carter, a small business owner who looked emotionally exhausted. Her hands trembled around a folder filled with invoices and screenshots. She claimed Marcus hired her company to renovate his restaurant, then refused to pay nearly $18,000 after weeks of completed work. Marcus instantly dismissed the accusation, calling Denise dramatic and unprofessional, with a laugh that visibly irritated the courtroom audience. But here's where things started getting uncomfortable. Every time Judge Judy asked Marcus a direct question, he answered with another question. It was a classic control tactic. Avoid facts, dominate attention, confuse pressure. Judge Judy noticed immediately. Then Marcus interrupted her mid-sentence, and suddenly the entire courtroom went silent. Judge Judy slowly lowered her glasses and stared directly at Marcus without speaking. That silence lasted only a few seconds, but psychologically it felt crushing. Confident manipulators often rely on momentum, fast talking, and emotional control. Judge Judy's silence destroyed that rhythm instantly. Marcus shifted in his chair, forcing out a nervous smile that looked weaker than before. Then Judge Judy spoke. "You don't run this courtroom. I do." The audience reacted immediately. A few people exchanged stunned looks while Denise lowered her eyes, clearly relieved somebody had finally stopped him. But Marcus still refused to back down. He claimed Denise's renovation work was incomplete, sloppy, and behind schedule. According to him, refusing payment was good business. The confidence returned to his voice, but now it sounded defensive instead of dominant. That's when Denise revealed something unexpected. Before the renovation began, Marcus had personally recorded video walkthroughs praising the progress and approving every completed section. Denise pulled out her phone with trembling hands while Marcus suddenly leaned forward, his expression tightening. "You won't believe what happened next." Judge Judy asked the court clerk to play the videos on the courtroom monitor. And the moment Marcus heard his own voice praising the work, the confidence on his face started disappearing fast. The courtroom monitor flickered to life, and Marcus's voice filled the room almost immediately. In the first clip, he walked through the restaurant, smiling proudly, complimenting the custom lighting, polished floors, and redesigned dining area. "This looks incredible," he said clearly into the camera. "Exactly what I wanted." Denise sat silently beside her attorney while the audience watched Marcus slowly realize the damage those recordings were causing. But the second video changed everything. Marcus appeared frustrated, pacing near the kitchen while speaking to someone off camera. He didn't know the microphone was still recording. "I'm not paying the full amount," he muttered. "If I pressure her long enough, she'll settle cheap." And then silence. Gasps spread across the courtroom. Denise covered her mouth in disbelief while Marcus froze completely, staring at the monitor like he wanted the footage erased from existence. That was the moment his entire strategy collapsed. Every interruption, every arrogant denial, every attempt to control the room suddenly looked deliberate and manipulative. Judge Judy leaned forward slowly, eyes locked onto Marcus. "So this was never about unfinished work," she said coldly. "This was about intimidation." Marcus opened his mouth to respond, but Judge Judy cut him off immediately. "Enough," Judge Judy said sharply, her voice echoing through the silent courtroom. Marcus finally looked shaken. The man who walked in, acting untouchable, now avoided eye contact completely, rubbing his hands together while the audience watched his confidence fall apart in real time. Psychological pressure had replaced performance. Once the hidden recording exposed his true intentions, there was nowhere left for him to hide. Judge Judy explained that business disagreements happen every day, but intentionally withholding payment to financially pressure small contractors was dishonest and abusive. Denise began crying quietly as unpaid invoices, signed approvals, and the video evidence confirmed everything she had claimed from the beginning. At this point, the courtroom felt less like entertainment and more like accountability. Then came the verdict. Judge Judy ordered Marcus to pay the full $18,000, plus additional filing costs. Marcus stared forward silently, his earlier arrogance completely gone. The same man who interrupted the judge minutes earlier now looked powerless. Exposed by his own words, Denise thanked the court through tears, finally realizing somebody had listened, and the lesson hit hard. People who try controlling every conversation often panic the moment truth starts speaking louder than them.